Hi guys, welcome to CYC, and today the little bit of chaos we're going to look at is you. We're going to figure out why you're weird, why you're wonderful, and what's going on, how to bring it into the world. And we're not trying to do the whole, the world is perfect and every cloud has a silver lining and you're a special snowflake and you can do it. You can do anything if you really try. It's not that. It's not going to be that pleasant. It's not I can almost promise you that by the end of this video, you will feel unsatisfied. I apologize. And we're going to do it with one question. It's amazing. There's actually two questions in this video, but it's the one that's going to play on your head for the next week, month, year. I don't know. So let's get into it. Who's excited? So the question is, let's just dig into it. The question is, what do you believe in? What do you know is true that no one else agrees with you on? And this is a question by Peter Thiel, who is like an feckin' amazing investor, was in the first round of Facebook, first round of YouTube, is really good at picking out startups, uncanny. So fair play to him. But that's his question for finding heterodox thinking. Heterodox is the opposite of orthodox, and it basically means you're contrarian. You can be in a room of 1,000 people and have an idea and stand by it. Because if you're trying to start a business, if you're trying to sell something and it's new and it's different or whatever, people naturally, it's not just going to click in their heads where they're just like, oh my God, that's such a good idea. Some products have that, but most of the time you have to sell it. There's actually a sales process needed for it. They need convicting. You need conviction to do it. You're going to be like Galileo trying to convince everyone that the sun does not revolve around the earth. And that, he was persecuted for that. There was whatever else, but he stood by it. He was willing to die on that hill. And eventually we all came around and was just like, yeah, I guess you're right, so. And everyone that was vocally critical basically shut up and just hid away for a couple of years. I imagine. I haven't done the research, but whatever. Either way, you're looking to have conviction in your belief. But what's your, as conviction in your belief, yes, but conviction without the support of the crowd. That's essentially what that question aims towards and tries to figure out what do you believe in so much that you're actually willing to go against everyone. Because going against everyone has a cost. You can lose friends. If we learned anything from the US election, it is that if you go against the crowd, you can lose friends. So we definitely know this now. But either way, okay, so that's question number one. I promised a second question. Second question is just kind of adding on to that, and it asks you, so this is after you've found your idea, found the thing you're willing to die for, that you're really trying to get after. And by the way, don't take that out of context. If your idea is bad, adjust, adapt. Fucking Bear Grylls, whatever that meme was, I'll pop it up. But either way, so once you have an idea, the question then is, are you trying to make a monopoly? And we all think that monopolies are bad and all the rest. But if you're starting a business, you actually want to start a monopoly. If you're a big business and you have a monopoly, you're going to be like, no, we're not a monopoly at all. We're just investing and doing all this other stuff. But in reality, you kind of want to be a monopoly. But then it's just up to society to figure out if you're doing it, if you're too big or not. But why do you want to be a monopoly? That's a weird thing to say. That's not what I was taught in school. A monopoly is when you control the whole market. A monopoly is when there's no one else like you. That's the part. So you're going to basically try, if you're trying to start a restaurant or something like that, you want to be the only one in town that is doing this Italian, Persian, feckin' Philippine mix, whatever else. We're the only ones in town. You're going to create your own niche. Because if you copy and paste someone else in the same location, so there's expansive marketing, which means you're copy and pasting McDonald's and you're bringing it to where they don't have McDonald's. That one's grand. But if you're staying in the location, if you copy and paste, you are essentially fighting over the same customers. For you to gain territory, for you to gain customers, the other business has to lose. That's the competition. But if you're a monopoly and you're not like directly copying, because like, again, I'm not asking you to reinvent the wheel. If you're starting a restaurant, there are other restaurants out there. There's no way of getting around that. What I'm trying to say is like, just specify it, make it niche so that you are growing the pie instead of fighting over one slice, basically. And I can give you examples of this. So you had Amazon. No one else was doing online marketing like that before. Then you had PayPal, because they saw that the transactions online or whatever was missing security and consistency and whatever else. And they were like, we can do that. They did not compete with banks, even though they were kind of doing, like, it's financial transactions. It's kind of competing, but they were specific and they like just made their niche. That was it. They were like, woohoo. They also tried cryptocurrency or whatever, but like, either way, that literally does not matter. Why did I say that? And okay, so you have other ones, such as you have Apple not just being a computer thing or whatever, but wanting to have your whole house integrated. We are this weird, like, we want you to have a smart house, not just a smartphone or a smart computer or whatever else. The first ones to do that. That is why their brand is now so strong. There are multiple examples of this, of being specific, being niche, being weird enough that you're not directly competing. And you can, like, whatever YouTubers you like, you can look into it and they will have something that is kind of just their own, or like it's a mix, it's a blend that is just their own, like whatever percentages of whatever is in it. I'm rambling, rabbit hole, in the weeds, I know, sorry. But that's the two questions. It is. And that second one is really just for when you're actually starting the business, or when you're trying to like do your art, do your music, do your whatever else, and you're trying to specify it, which is cool. But the main question is, what do you know to be true that no one else believes in? That's the one I want to stick in your head too. Like, I want you to think about that one. And this has taken me a while to answer. So do not, like, if you get it straight away, fair fucks, you are better than me. But I imagine most of you it'll take a while to think about this. And don't get frustrated. Like, if you have that voice in your head that says, like, you know, oh my God, I can't answer it, therefore I must not be weird, therefore I must be kind of boring, why can't I answer this? Like, I'm sure everyone else can answer it. Like, maybe most of you don't have that voice, but if you do, tell it to fuck off. Okay? You are special. You are weird. Take pride in it. You definitely, like, there's complexity there. And maybe you haven't realized it, actualized it. Maybe you haven't aimed it in a direction yet. But don't you dare say that you're going to be boring. And if you're boring, you might as well just commit to it and just give up and just... Because that is death. So don't do it to yourself. Okay. That's it for today. I imagine this will be very unsatisfying, so I'm finding it difficult to leave you on this point, because I know it's going to be a shit fit. Like, it's not the most fun. I apologize.